Hello, hello, my friends. AmyR here with Prairie Paper and Ink. Welcome back to my face and my card making space. And I'm still doing holiday cards. As the title, thumbnail, made it, pretty clear. I'm going to keep making them. Still in the mood for it. Feeling a little less pressure. Still have so many ideas, so many products, all the things. And once we officially roll into 2026, I will build new little intro banners and all the things and start the 2026 holiday card series because I love making them. I will still have a lot of non-holiday cards. A whole bunch of those are coming, so we're good. But yeah, die cutting, ink blending, splatter, little snow effects, all that fun stuff. Everything I used for today's card will be listed and linked in the description box below the video. My links are affiliate links. That just means that if you click on one of my links and end up placing an order, I do get a little kickback from that at no extra cost to you. That is what helps pay the bills, keeps the lights on, keeps my heaters running, enables me to keep bringing out content. And yeah, let's get into making the card. So I'm starting off with nothing other than the white Christmas text background stamp because I love it. I've lost track of how many times I've used it in this year's holiday card series. I'm sure it will make an appearance in the next one, the one after that, the one after that, the one after that. You can't go wrong with a good text background. It just works. So I inked it up with white pigment ink and I'm stamping it onto a panel of black cardstock. Doesn't need to be perfect, doesn't need to be solid. It's just there for that extra bit of texture. And then after I stamped it, I'm going to run this through my die cut machine with the Twinkle Snowflakes 3D embossing folder. So this will add more texture, like texture on top of texture. And with my Anna Griffin Empress machine and Simon's 3D embossing folders, I just need one cutting plate. You could also add the metal shim or cardstock shim depending on your machine and depending on the folder. It just depends. But with the Simon folders, for me, this is what works. Then I'm going direct to paper with that same white pigment ink using my fancy side cam. I remembered to turn this on for this. And I am very lightly rubbing the ink on the raised areas. Now this will vary, again, depending on the type of folder you've used, so the type of pattern and the type of, how high or how much depth you've created with the embossing. This one doesn't get super high. So in some areas I actually do end up getting more ink on the cardstock, but I'm not pressing very hard, so it doesn't really matter. And I'm not worried because I'm going to be adding die cuts and splatter and texture and all kinds of things on top of this. So this just brings out, though, some of those snowflakes a little bit more. So after I'd applied the ink, I set that all aside. And I had done a bunch of die cutting using, yet again, the tall Poinsettia wafer dies. I love this die set. I love it. I love poinsettias. I love poinsettia die cuts and embossing folders. Anything poinsettia themed, I just love. You can't go wrong with it. But this die set has been a fixation of mine for a while now. I've done several videos using it, and I love it. So I had die cut the floral portions using Rainbow Splash Ballet cardstock. Now the Rainbow Splash line is through Simon Says Stamp. It's their sort of more affordable line, more beginner line. The cardstock from it is lighter weight. I think I have to look now to see exactly what weight the cardstock is. I know it's lighter weight. It's around 80 pounds. Yeah, that makes sense. Previous me, many, many years ago, I would have turned my nose up at 80-pound cardstock. Anything 80 pound and lighter, there's no way. I would have been no. I'm sorry, what? However, current me, I like the lighter weights because I do so many die cut heavy cards and lots of layers. The lighter weights are kind of nice because they don't bulk up my cards. Anyway, I use that Same Ballet cardstock. And I die cut just many pieces because I was doing a bunch of die cutting. And then I used Rainbow Splash inks, which the Rainbow Splash inks, as far as I'm aware, I think are the exact same formula as Simon's Positively Saturated inks. And I just use them all interchangeably. They just kind of fill out and add extra colors. So I'd started with Ballet and just a little blending brush, and I blended it from like the centers of these florals out. Then I had added Princess ink, and then with a very light hand, I added Scarlet, which bright red. So those three just blended together to create all that depth on all those little die cut floral pieces. And then for the leaves, I had die cut those from Simon's green apple cardstock. Yes. And then over that, I blended Rainbow Splash grass ink. And then this little greenery sprig. This is an oldie but goodie. This is the Rustic Sprigs wafer die. That I die cut from green leaf cardstock. And I started with the grass ink. And then I added emerald. So again, just building depth to all of these die cuts. So got that on there. Cleaned off my work surface. And then I'm going to get to my birdie, which I'm using the layered SONGBIRD wafer dies. And I die cut him from white cardstock. The wing I die cut from fog cardstock, and his little beak just from a scrap of black. So on the body, I took the Rainbow Splash Buttercream ink. Love this ink. This shade is not like any of the other ones I have. This one's kind of a must. Even if you don't want the whole like Rainbow Splash line, Buttercream ink. Yes, you want something like kind of that really light ivory shade. That's perfect. So I used that and blended that. And then on these other pieces, I started with caramel. So blended that on there. And then I'm going to add gravel ink. So I'm going to kind of go and add like the gray to the brown. So it's just kind of muted out. In the back of my mind, I was kind of thinking like a little sort of like a little chickadee, that sort of a thing. But again, when it comes to birds, I don't go for realism or accuracy. I'm going with whatever my heart is leading me. So I went with more neutral colors for this little guy because I was like, ooh, he'll stand out a little more amongst all of my like florals and greenery and like the black background. So went in with the gravel, and then the final bit I'm going to add is the Positively Saturated in Whale, which is a very, very dark gray. So I've blended in that gravel shade to the ones that I blended with caramel. So just getting that like sort of browny gray, neutral look going. And then I'm coming in with the whale shade, which is a much darker gray, to just kind of deepen that all up a little bit and just give everything even more depth. And then once that's blended, I just got to glue these pieces together, which is super simple. I don't think you can really see it on camera, but the main wafer die for this little birdie, for the body, it also debosses the outlines for where like the wing goes, the little piece for the top of his head, etc. So you just line them up. Super simple. Super simple. So I'm going to adhere these together, and I didn't bother with the little eye piece that gets die cut with these. I didn't even worry about it because I'm just going to add a little enamel dot on top, or you could do a little black pearl, a little piece of bling, things like that. Sometimes I'll use the little die cuts. It just, as always, depends on my mood. But my kind of go-to now is to use these I've got the little Doodlebug eye for an eye shape sprinkles, which are self-adhesive. Perfection. So I just kind of figured out, did I want the smallest or the medium? Went with the smallest. Peel and stick. And he's got a little eye, and he's adorable, and I love him. So for all my floral pieces, I layered 3 of the large ones together for one flower, 3 of the small ones together for another one. And then with my remaining pieces, I did 2 of the small ones, and then the large one I cut, as you can see, I just cut it apart and then adhered it. So I ended up with kind of one big one, a medium-sized one, and a small one. So that's why I love this die set, because I can just mix and match and do whatever I want. and get different sort of shapes and they don't all look exactly the same. I like it. So now that I've got all of my pieces, it is time to start adhering them. So my background, I had cut down a bit. I cut it down to about 4 by 5¼ inches, just slightly smaller than an A2 card front. And then I'm going to adhere my greenery bits. And then I also used the Pointy Pine Sprigs wafer dies because I've been also obsessed with this little die set. It's just great for filler. That I die cut from Simon's Matte Gold cardstock. Oh, love it. Like, it just gives that little pop of extra. And then the Snowflake wafer die, that's another oldie but goodie. That's the Dancing Snowflakes wafer die. That's just one wafer die. And I just die cut that from white cardstock and then adhered it in place like so. And then I've got my florals and my birdie and then the leaves from the stems of that tall poinsettia set. So I'm kind of figuring out my placement of everything because I also need to leave some room for where I'm going to put my sentiment. And then I'll get my florals adhered. Everything I'm adhering with liquid glue. I'm not using any foam tape. As always, it just depends on my mood. What I really love about cards like this is they've got that look of a lot of dimension and depth and as if they're super thick, but they're actually not. They're just not. They just aren't. I don't know how else to explain it. So yeah, I just don't feel the need to pop any of this up with foam tape because it's just the layers of the cardstock and the die cuts themselves just naturally build up all of that dimension. So for the leaves, as you saw, I just cut them off the stems and then just tuck them in amongst the florals and then use that last little bit that I trimmed off from the Rustic Sprigs little wafer die and tuck that in. And then I'm going to tuck my little birdie in because he's just chilling. He's just hanging out, taking a rest on top of the flowers. So I'm going to adhere him into place. And then, of course, we're going to add a bunch of splatter because that's what I love to do. So once I've got that adhered, the first bit of splatter is the Simon's Positively Perfect Opaque White Splatter, which you need to stir the stuff up. The pigment settles to the bottom, so it needs to be stirred up before you use it. Otherwise, it's not going to be white. It's going to be like kind of milky, weird looking. So I stirred that up really well and then did a pretty heavy dose of splatter on this. And then I'm going to add some gold splatter using my Kiritaki Gansai Tombi. Love. And that just is going to pull in a little bit more of the gold because I've got those little gold pine sprigs, tucked in there. And the sentiment is also going to be gold. So I'd already put water in there and it was sitting while I did the white splatter. So then I just swirled my brush, added some gold splatter to this. And then to really amp up the snow texture, I'm using the Snowtex embossing paste that I've shown in a few videos now and in a couple of live streams. This stuff is chunky. It's got like chunks in it. I think it's very similar to Distress Grit Paste Opaque, like the original Grit Paste. For some reason, I only had a little tiny jar of the Grit Paste Opaque, and I got it years ago, and it was completely dried out. So I can't compare one-to-one, like in person. I have a jar on order because I'm just curious. But if you have the original opaque white grit paste, it probably would work in the exact same way. So I just apply this stuff with a little flat filbert brush. It's just a like kind of round flat brush. You just have to remember that if you're using a brush to apply any sort of paste like this, you need to clean out your brush immediately. Do not let it dry. If you let that paste dry on your brush is done for. So I also recommend using a brush that you're not super worried about, wrecking. So far I have not lost a brush to this process, but I clean it out immediately. But this is just a little El Cheapo brush that I've had for years. I don't, it's not the end of the world. But yeah, I just apply it to the edges of all my die cuts, and it gives it that look of snow because it's got little bits of chunkies in it. And if you wanted to, while the paste is still wet, you could also pour glitter over it, and that would, add to it. You would need to work in sections. It depends on how thick you apply it. For me, the way I apply this, it dries in minutes because I'm not applying it that thick and I'm not applying very much. So if I wanted to add glitter, I would do one small section at a time, pour glitter over it, and then go on to the next. Do a few little bits, pour some glitter over it, etc., because it dries quite quickly. And then keep that sealed with press and seal. That jar I showed is absolutely enormous, but there are smaller jars available. I link to all the options because I wasn't paying attention when I ordered that stuff, and I have like a lifetime supply. We'll see how long it lasts, but I've had that stuff actually for at least a full year, possibly 2. But again, with pastes, don't hoard them, don't save them like for a rainy day sort of a thing. Like, use them because pastes are not meant to last forever regardless. And yeah, I've lost many pastes over the years. So just a heads up on that. Anyway, for my sentiment, this is the Joyeux Noel Wafer Die by CZ Design. This is another oldie but goodie. And it does also have like an outline wafer die with it, but I didn't use the outline. I just used the words, die cut them from white cardstock, glued those together, and then the topper was die cut from the same matte gold cardstock. So all adhered together to create depth and dimension. And then for the dots above the E, which are the diaresis or the trema. Look at me learning things. Oh. Anyway, for those, same thing. I just stacked them in place because I had all the die cuts. I didn't manage to lose them, which is amazing. If I had, honestly, 2 little gold pearls would have been perfect. Sometimes you can just add a little bit of bling and saves you the aggravation, but I had the die cuts. Usually I end up flipping the tray and losing them all. The amount of times that's happened, but this time it didn't, which, like I said, crazy. So got everything adhered. On my card base, which is top folding A2 white note card, on the inside I stamped a sentiment from the Holiday Typewriter set, another favorite that I've used many, many times, and I stamped that with Simon's Honey ink on the inside. And then as my final embellishment, which finishes off the flower centers, because they need something, I just used the little gold sparkle. These are the clear with gold dust gems that I've also used multiple times with these poinsettias because they're just perfect. So I adhered those into place with the craft tacky glue, let the glue dry, and this card is complete. So texture on texture with stamps and embossing folders and ink and die cuts, splatter, that snow text paste, all the fun things. So like I mentioned in the beginning, links to all the things will be in the description box below the video, so you can just expand that and check it out if you're interested. Thank you all so very much for hanging out with me, for thumbs upping and commenting. It helps a ton, and I really do appreciate it. Subscribe if you haven't. I'd love to have you, and I'll see you all very soon in the next video. Bye. Thank you so much to my amazing Patreon supporters. For anyone that might be interested in joining my Patreon community and supporting me, the link to my Patreon is in the description box below the video. For everyone else, as always, thank you all so much for taking the time to watch my videos, for thumbs upping, commenting, subscribe if you haven't. I'd love to have you. And here's a couple other videos for you to check out in case you missed them. Bye!